Well, joining me now, journalist Christian Hartsock. Christian, thanks for joining the Pulse this evening. What are your thoughts on what you just witnessed there?
Well, yeah, I mean, what I identified in Los Angeles, I mean, yes, 31% of the nation's hospice and home care companies in the U.S. are registered in L.A. County, and only 2% of the population, the elderly population, is in L.A. County. So there's certainly a dense concentration of fraud here in Los Angeles. As you know, I think I just scraped the surface over in Van Nuys and North Hollywood. But this is, as Jason was revealing, this is a nationwide thing. I think the DOJ identified additional fraud in Arizona, Nevada, and Texas, all, red states, including a practice called license flipping, whereupon hospice owners immediately resell their licenses right after obtaining them. And that's something I think that should definitely be looked into. But this is definitely not unique to California.
No, it's not, obviously. And I know you've also done your own deep dive investigation into what could be the largest healthcare fraud in American history. Roughly 1/3, I think you just shared, all hospice companies are registered in Los Angeles County, California. You went to several of these alleged hospice centers. I want to play a short clip of what you found. Watch.
Printed sign closed for lunch. We will return shortly. It seems to be a pretty permanent looking, it's not just a sticky note. It does not seem like a temporary tag you just put on a door to say out to lunch. It says out to lunch. Okay. Well, I take it that they are still out to lunch. Maybe they're all out to lunch together. Great Life Hospice, okay. Is it a whole lunch outing amongst healthcare competitors? Hi.
No, this is not hospice. I don't.
This is not hospice? Okay, well, what kind of health do you provide here?
I'm sorry, you can't come.
But it says 9 to 5.
Unbelievable. Christian, was it actually like during lunchtime? Was it middle of the afternoon at every single one of those doors that you knocked on?
It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I think was when I mean, hey, it's 12 o'clock somewhere. So, but it was late in the afternoon when I was knocking on those doors.
Absolutely unbelievable. I know the state of California claims to be cracking down on this, but the Medicaid administrator, Dr. Oz, he says that Governor Gavin Newsom, he's not cooperating with his investigation. So what is your message to Governor Newsom? I call him Mussolini because he acts like a tyrant dictator, especially since he wants to become president. Do you have a message for him?
Well, he was supposed to have, the LA Times reported on widespread hospice fraud in 2020, which was 5 years ago, 6 years ago, prompted the state to introduce these emergency hospice regulations that were supposed to take effect in January. Still haven't. Obviously, I did this investigation well after January, and I want to give credit to the California Courier as well. They have been on this, and they kind of spearheaded this investigation. But it's not the first time it's been investigated. The LA Times, and then there was complaints, about 2,100 complaints from January 2015 to August 2021, and around 350 allegations of fraud and abuse, and indications that LA County networks are engaging in a large and organized effort to defraud the Medicare and Medi-Cal hospice programs. Gavin Newsom, I guess, has been investing his time in his podcast and his presidential run. He does not seem to care about what's actually going on.
No, it doesn't seem like he does. I know you just, we were talking about President Trump's launching a task force to eliminate fraud. It is going to be led by Vice President J.D. Vance. So which state do you think that they should go look into first?
Well, I'm biased, but please come here. We need you. I mean, obviously, I can only do so much as a journalist. All I can do is point a flashlight, but it takes actual action. And it's not just going to take the feds. It's going to take California voters to wake up. And my neighbors here in Los Angeles, and all across California. How much is enough? How much are we willing to tolerate? That's the question. What is tolerable? What is the tolerable amount of fraud that we have a threshold? What is the threshold?
It's insane. As hard as people work, trying to just hold on to every last dollar they have, upset, especially in California, gas prices rise, and then you see fraud like these cases that you're exposing, where people were just siphoning off taxpayer dollars. It's insane. It's sickening. Dr. Oz says that Governor Ron DeSantis and Florida is actually up next, writing on X in part, "What I saw on the ground in Florida around durable medical equipment fraud was horrifying. The scale is out of control and not just limited to these schemes. Cleaning this up will require a laser focus and a real action from state leaders." So, this is the first Republican-led state to be called out for fraud. Do you think it'll be the only one? Do you think that this is actually probably in every single state across the country? If somebody really looked close enough, they'd find it?
Well, I would think that wherever human nature rears its ugly head, there's liable to be fraud. Where there's not, enough oversight, where there's not people in office who are actually wanting to do something about it, rather than perpetuate the problem, or as Gavin Newsom, okay, he revoked 280 licenses, but clearly clearly it's still going on, because that was just a couple of weeks ago that I was over in Van Nuys, North Hollywood. So just running a victory lap over when the problem is ongoing. This is an ongoing problem that requires ongoing, not just investigation, but action.
Every single state needs a task force looking at this. Otherwise, you got Gavin Newsom. It's like whack-a-mole. Somebody like you exposes a problem, whack it, act like the rest is just peachy clean, and then move on. Christian Hartsock, appreciate you coming on. Thank you for exposing that fraud. Keep it up, brother.
Thank you, David. Appreciate it.